Pardon me while I have a strange interlude.
There is nothing else. Life is an obscure hobo bumming a ride on the omnibus of art.
In the misty corridors of time, and in those corridors I see figures, strange figures.
Well, hello, listeners. This is just a quick little bonus episode I wanted to throw out there, being that it is Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. And that means it's also, not that I started the podcast on Halloween, but October of last year was the very first episode of the AP Strange Show. So in the interest of a recognizing of the 1 year anniversary of the show, and my favorite holiday, Halloween, I thought I'd throw a little bonus out there to you. And I wanted to start by saying thank you to everyone who's tuned in. I'm always grateful when anyone wants to hear my ramblings. I try really hard to get very interesting guests and do some fun stuff. Present ideas and concepts to people. And I think I've done an okay job. I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I've managed to get at least a podcast a week out for everybody for the past year. Absolutely free of charge and supported by you listeners and also my imaginary sponsors. So, oh geez, there's no imaginary sponsor for this episode. You don't even have to worry about that. See, no ads at all. That's the quality you get from the AP Strange Show. So, I shy away from doing the obligatory share with your friends and like and subscribe and all that stuff. But in the interest of the season and as a favor to me, or if you enjoy the show or you just want to share that Halloween spirit, go ahead and give me 5 stars on whatever you're listening to it on, or comment. I do want the show out there. See, this is one of these weird things about being a creator of stuff on the internet, is that I feel a bit out of sync with things. I got into this a little bit with Adam Sane when I had him on the show, and with him doing it for 13 years, he has a different perspective. And I hope no one was offended by our little conversation on that. We didn't really mean to be talking down about people, but more just like the way algorithms work and the way things are sent out to people. It does help to have those ratings for some reason. And I do it because I like it. I like all this stuff. I'm very excited to be able to share with you all. And I feel sheepish even having a moment with just you, the listener, and I talking about this stuff, because it is awkward for me. I don't really like getting into the nitty gritty of it. You're bound to sound like you're contradicting yourself at some points, but it does make me happy when people like the show. So if you don't mind, giving a little review here and there, sharing it online, or recommending it to a friend. And thank you to everybody that's listened. I also thought, it was worth mentioning that if you started listening sometime in the past year and just picked up where I was and followed on from there, or only listened to a couple episodes, it is worthwhile to go back to the beginning, because it does kind of make me sad that I started out with some pretty killer guests. If you go back, like one of the first guests I had on was John E.L. Tenney. That's a really fun chat. We talked about Godzilla versus King Kong. Go check that out. Just to get to hear Tenney talk about monster movies. Pleasant Gaiman was another early one. An LA dancer and witch and rock musician and writer and tarot reader. Super cool person. It was a very interesting conversation to have. So, yeah, looking back at the past year, there's a lot of people that I know from online and some people that I have been inspirational to me over the years. So, like Professor Charles Porterfield or the Lloyd Auerbach episode were both kind of almost intimidating for me because it's like people that I have influenced me in some way or another, and I followed their work, and it's a great joy to be able to do this show. And I don't know if it ever comes through, but sometimes I'm damn nervous talking to people. I get a little intimidated because a lot of these guests are way smarter than I am. So, uh, yeah. So I mean, that's where we're at right now. I feel like I debated even doing this episode because I was thinking, well, it's just a year, one whole year, big whoop, 1 year. But a lot of podcasts don't make it that far. I came to realize that because there's a lot of shows that only release a few and then drop off, um, or make it a couple months in and then quit, that puts my podcast, that really screws up the whole bell curve. So my podcast is doing pretty well for having consistently released one every week for a year, and I don't really feel like I'm going to be slowing down anytime soon. So, uh, yeah, it's where was I going with that? I have a cat interrupting me, so don't mind me. Anyway, all right. So I think the point is that I'm doing relatively well. So that's so yay me. I am going to pat myself on the back. I did a show for a year every week. So um, so happy anniversary to me. This is me patting myself on the back. Let's see if it comes through on mic. But more than that, just thank you, really thank you to everybody that's listened, shared the show, commented, been on the show. There's, it's kind of a dream come true in a way because there's lots of like little weird subjects I've always wanted to talk about. Like I've always wanted to really spend a good hour or two complaining about Dave McGowan's book Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon, and I got to do that with Sequoia Kennedy. So Sequoia Kennedy. So go check that out. Um, or the whole idea of doing Third Time's the Charm and talking about the third movie in a series just seemed like an idea that it was dumb enough to work. So I had to pursue it, and I think the guests I've had on for that or have been. It's been a really fun little endeavor doing like Star Trek 3 with Aaron Golias and Black Wolf, and having Fred Anderson on to talk about Jaws 3. So go back for those. Those are all labeled 3XTC in parentheses for Third Time's the Charm. But I haven't done as many of those lately. Those are actually a little tricky because you really have to coordinate with somebody that you think likes the franchise enough to do it, and then you sometimes feel like you have to watch all the movies. So those are like kind of more time consuming than ones that require me reading a book. It's really weird, but I will keep doing those even though they don't rate as high. I know people are enjoying them, so we'll keep that going. And maybe I'll explore other fun things to do with the show. I had meant to do more little bonus episodes that were just me, maybe reading a piece of my writing from the blog, or something catered specific to the show. um, but it is time consuming to just do the weekly show, and I have a job in the meantime. I have a family that I like to spend time with, so um, uh, yeah, I am just happy to try to provide a little bit of space for people to think about things that aren't the horrifying world that we live in, and maybe have a little space where they can listen to people that are simpatico, or maybe challenge their ideas about the way things are. So, being that it's Halloween, I thought so you get some value out of this, and it isn't just me gazing at my navel, and congratulating myself. I thought maybe I'd throw out some good horror movie recommendations. Um, I watched, as of this recording, last night I watched Dead Alive, also known as Brain Dead. It's a 1992 Peter Jackson movie. It was one of the first times he was given like a big budget of $3 million to do a movie, billed as the goriest fright flick of all time. Now I watched this one a bunch of times when I was younger, and for some reason have not been able to find it anywhere in the past number of years. So I haven't seen it in over a decade, and man, does it hold up! It is just gross and funny and gory and weird, and just so many weird things. And it really blew me away with the practical effects that they had some bizarre idea, scene to scene, that they had to come up with a way to do it, which is just crazy. So yeah, I would recommend that. It's on YouTube. This is the great thing, is I found it on YouTube. Somebody tipped me off that it was on YouTube, and I went and found it, and I am glad, because I had, like I said, I haven't seen it in forever, and it holds up. It's just weird. It's got a kung fu priest in it. How could you turn that down? Kung fu priest fighting zombies. So good stuff. Um, Also, a classic that used to be an annual rewatch around here every Halloween. House on Haunted Hill, the original one by William Castle, the director, um, and that has Vincent Price in it. It's a good cheesy fun, and Castle had all his gimmicks that he would do in the movie theaters, and for that one he had Emergo, or Emergo. I'm never really sure how it was pronounced, but it was the skeleton that would pop out and fly over the audience, which I guess it sounds really cool, but it was probably kind of really cheesy at the time. I've heard that there were like children trying to bat at it and knock it down and stuff while the show was going on. Um, but good fun, campy horror from the 50s. Well worth checking out. And there's one that I'm kind of shocked more people haven't talked about, or at least I haven't heard it. Is a movie called When Evil Lurks. This is an Argentinian and American co-production by a director named Demian Rugna, I think is how you pronounce that. Well, anyway, brutal, brutal as hell. Not for the faint of heart. If you want something like really cerebral and really different, and can tolerate subtitles, because you're gonna have to watch it with subtitles, um, watch that, because I only watched it once when it came out. This is a movie that's 2023. Um, I watched it that one time, but it stuck with me, and I never really feel like I need to revisit it again, because it was legitimately horrifying. Um, this guy also did another movie prior to that, um, and that one is, I don't know if I'd even say it's worse or better. um, let's see. I think it's called Terrified. I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Um, yeah, it's just called Terrified as the American title. Both, if you look up these movies, man, like I said, if you're a horror nut and you can handle really brutal cerebral stuff, it's not like torture porny, and the gore isn't the thing. It's just really horrifying stuff that um, is a different spin on supernatural and demonic stuff. So yeah, recommend those to those who are not faint of heart. And let's see, what else do I got as a recommendation? Well, this past year you had two movies that came out called Sinners, and the other one was Weapons, and both were critically acclaimed, and I think pretty much universally well received by horror fans, and for good reason. It's not the kind of thing where they're not the kind of movies where the crowd loves them and I watch it and say I don't know what the hell people are thinking, because I do have that a lot. Sometimes I'll watch a movie that's really popular and I just say I just have to uh, accept the fact that I don't understand people. But both of those movies phenomenal, so well worth checking out if you haven't already. So there you go. You got some horror movie recommendations from AP Strange for your Halloween holiday, and let's see. Oh, right, the other thing. Don't sleep on the blog. I mean, I have a bit in the past year. It does get time consuming again to do a podcast, but I do add stuff to the blog, and every once in a while, force myself to write some stuff. Um, I love writing. That's kind of the main thing. I consider myself a writer, even though I don't know. I guess I don't do it enough. I really should do it more, but I'm so tired a lot of the time. I don't know if I got long COVID or what, but I do get really, really tired. Um, and when I want to sit down and write something that's going to go on the blog, I want it to be as good as possible. So I have updated it a little bit recently. Got a few new pieces of writing, but there's tons of stuff on there. There's, I don't know, 50, 60 entries on there of all kinds of weird subjects that you can go look at and read. So, yeah. Um, I mean, the show is less about me. I feel like we do have through lines on the show. And I feel like there are patterns and things that people will pick up on when they keep listening. I feel like we've covered a lot more magic and occult stuff than maybe I had thought we originally would. But it's kind of cool how some of these episodes will really complement each other. So yeah, it's almost like finding a thread that connects all these things, and I think you'll some of that will make sense if you read my blog and you kind of have a better idea where I'm coming from if you haven't already. I mean, I would assume that some people started listening because they've heard me on other shows or followed me on social media, and probably some of them are already familiar with some of my writing. But just in case you're not, because I don't mention it very much on the show, I don't promote my own stuff. I'm really bad at promoting in general. So I don't I don't want this little bonus to be pure self promotion, but yeah, it's help me out, folks. Like go read the blog if you feel like it, and leave me a review on the podcast apps and things like that. And so, just to make this less navel gazy, you got some recommendations. That was cool. Thank you again, everybody who's listening. And I do have a special bit of audio for you. It's something a little different from anything we've done on the show before, but in the interest of Halloween, in the spirit of Halloween, here's a spooky little experiment here at Strange HQ for your listening pleasure. So enjoy. And now, listeners, I'm going to attempt a seance. Um, Oop, there's things already moving around in the room. I assure you, it's very spooky looking in here. Um, there's candles and there's a crystal ball and all the accoutrement you might want in a seance room. So I'm ready to get started. I'm kind of excited to do this. It's a little different from anything I've done on the podcast before, but I'm going to attempt to contact someone I consider to be an ascended master, the one and only Groucho Marx. Here we go. Groucho! Groucho! If you are out there, come to me as uh, your channel to this realm. Groucho. Oh, wait, I know what's missing. A swordfish! 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 Feeling something now. Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, podcast listeners and listeners of the podcast. I think that covers everything. As you already know, I come to you by way of medium. Some medium you are. By the lengths of these sleeves, I'd say you're large. I'd say you're a lot of other things as well, but I can't be sure you'd hear me. Who does your wardrobe, anyway? On second thought, keep that one under your hat. I wouldn't want to embarrass anyone that badly. The idea. Channeling me. If you're going to pay tribute, you got a funny way of showing it. This train wreck of a performance is a disgrace to the name of Groucho. If such a thing is possible, why couldn't you find someone else to channel? Why, there are thousands of channels these days, and still not a thing to watch. For those of you watching me right now, shame on you. Shouldn't you be watching your children? Maybe your children should be watching you. But then, they're probably watching television, channeling something worthwhile. Well, I'm glad we got that cleared up. I was worried there for a moment. I once said that I learn a lot from TV. Every time someone turned one on, I'd go in the other room and read a book. Do they still print books in this strange new world I've been commanded to enter? This is a literate audience, isn't it? If anyone sees my rep from the dead celebrity talent agency, tell him he's fired. What's the point of it all? What am I doing here? Sometimes I think I must go mad. But then again, humor is simply logic gone mad. I must have had a reason for saying that once, and now I'm mad that it's gone. Oh well, as they say, all things pass eventually. What has passed is now in the past, which suggests the past tense, and I could go on until well past tense. So I'll leave you with this. Art is art, isn't it? And then again, water is water, and east is east, and west is west, and if you take cranberries and stew them like apples, they taste more like prunes than rhubarb does. And now, it's time for you to tell me what you think. Okay, what happened? Something happened. I got something recorded here. I'll have to go back and review it. Not sure if this was a successful experiment, but we're going to have to, here at Strange HQ, take a look at things and see what it says, because I'm really not sure what just happened in the last minute or so. Okay.